Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World with me, Ashim Kumar. In recent days, Ukraine has endured one of the heaviest waves of Russian attacks since the start of the war. Missiles and drones rained down on cities across the country, killing at least 5 people and leaving thousands without power. The western region of Lviv, near Poland's border, was hit especially hard in what officials call the largest strike there since the war began. Joining us to discuss this escalation is Piotr Kaszuwara. He's president of the UA Future Foundation. Mr. Kaszuwara, welcome back to TVP World, and thank you very much for taking the time.
Good evening. Thank you very much for the invitation.
It's a pleasure as always, sir. So give us an overview of what's actually going on at the moment. We get the sense it is a major escalation. As usual, civilian targets are being, or civilian facilities are being attacked. But give us the big picture.
To be honest, the escalation happened on the 24th of February 2022. Unfortunately, from that time, the war changed a lot. Russians, they started to use the Shahed drones on the Ukrainian cities and on the civilian targets. And they are using more and more of those terrible drones, and we see more and more destruction as well done by those terrible drones. Tonight in Lviv, we had, as you said, the massive strike on the city since the beginning of the invasion. We have information about 140 Shahed drones targeting the city and 23 rockets, including hypersonic rockets. They call it the Dagger. This is very dangerous rocket that is flying very high to the sky and then hitting with the huge speed, with the terrible perfection, the target. Unfortunately, one of the targets tonight in Lviv was the private house of the 4-person family near Lviv. Whole family got killed, including 15 years old girl, Anastasia. She died in her own house today morning because of the Russian strike on Lviv. It was really terrible night. The sirens, the alarm was long for over 4 hours. In Lviv, in whole Ukraine, over 6 hours. We have heard the explosions all the time, like seriously all the time. I spent whole night in laying down in the corridor because it was only one safe place that I could find. It was already too late to go to any shelter. So the safest place that I could find was between two walls, as far from the windows as it is possible. But, I was there today morning where Anastasia and her family got killed. And I saw those ruins that left behind the building after the strike. And I had no doubts if this rocket would hit my house, I would be totally dead. And it could be anyone in Lviv. Lviv now it's 1 million population city. So I had the feeling, I had this kind of thoughts that terrorists from Russia, I'm not afraid to name them like that, they actually prepared and they did the terrorist attack to kill people in Lviv, and that could be anyone, as I just said. The rescue action has been happening from the early morning. We couldn't move from our apartments, from our houses to 9 o'clock in the morning. We had seen terrible smoke cloud all above the city from the company that was also targeted. This night, Russians, they destroyed few civilian houses, they destroyed school, they destroyed kindergarten, and they destroyed church. So this is very hard to explain why they hit
Well,
these kind of
as you
objects,
say, Piotr, I
civilian
mean,
objects.
there doesn't seem to be any military purpose in those targets at all. But it has also been like this since the start of the war, where civilian targets have always been selected. Now, tell me about the defenses against these drones and missiles. How effective are they? I mean, I know, of course, they wouldn't get 100% of the drones down, but how well are they doing generally?
Most of us survived this night, so they are actually very effective. And this is very good because otherwise we won't talk probably. Try to imagine one of this kind of drone is uh, transporting about 100 kilograms of the explosives. This is a lot. It can destroy the whole building, whole apartment building, even. So this is the Ukrainian air defense is very effective because most of these drones, most of these rockets, they got they have been shot down. Fortunately for us, but this system is very complicated. This is not only the Patriots. These are not only the Patriot systems, but also Ukraine has anti-drone drones that are trying to follow the Shahed drones and hit them already in the air. For example, they also have special radio electronic systems to to change the direction
To
of the
jam
GPS
the
of the
direction,
Shahed drone,
yes.
for example.
Yes, understood. Now, also we hear that many energy facilities are being hit in Ukraine. How much of a concern is that with winter coming along?
Yes, this is a very good question because the Russians, they are targeting gas systems, for example. The local authorities from Lviv, they said today that the main target of tonight's attack was the gas system near the Polish border, in the town south from Lviv. They are targeting also the power stations. So the part of Lviv was out of the electricity today morning. The worst situation is now on the east of the country, and as well in Kiev. Kiev is very huge city, and the Russians are trying to heat the power plant in Kiev for a long time already. But what is good for Ukraine, they still have atomic power plants, and most of the energy coming to our houses come from those power plants. But they've been the target. They've been the Russian target as well. You probably have heard about it, that some electric systems near Chernobyl have been a target a few days ago. Also, Russians, they destroyed the electricity lines near Zaporizhia atomic power plant, and since over a week already, the generators, the atomic generators in Zaporizhia are working on diesel generators. This is absolutely ridiculous situation, and the International Atom Agency is reporting that we are in danger, that something may happen. They still have generators, they still have a fuel to run those generators. So situation is under control, as we have heard, but still this is very dangerous. Because the military situation is very difficult, so the transport of the fuel is difficult. So we don't know how much longer those generators can work. We already know that this winter will be very hard for Ukrainians. In Kiev, time to time, some parts of the city, they already feel blackouts. Today in Zaporizhia, most of the city has had no electricity as well. And right now, we are talking, and Kharkiv is under attack by the drones, and they also try to attack the energy systems near Kharkiv. So we can expect that this winter will be very hard for Ukrainians, because this is not only about the electricity, because we can survive without computer, we can survive without light, for example, but the electricity is also water for the bedroom, for example, and this is also a heating. And the winter in Ukraine sometimes is very hard, and it could be minus 25, minus 30, minus 40 even degrees in Donbas. So try to imagine people living in the old houses somewhere in the no one's land in Donbas without any heating. So
Yeah,
that
Piotr, I mean,
may
this is the third. This
generate.
is Piotr. This is the third winter now since the start of the full-scale invasion. How much better prepared is the Ukrainian population for exactly this? Because, of course, you've had experience of being without energy for heat and so on. Are the Ukrainian people better prepared for this winter?
You can't be fully prepared for something like that. Obviously, you can have better blanket. For example, you can have few sleeping bags. You can buy some water. You can manage your life to live without the electricity for 12 hours a day. So you learn how to cook, for example, your lunch, how to prepare your breakfast for the next day. Sometimes you do the washing in the middle of the night because you have only 2 hours to do your washing. You go to the toilet
Yeah.
at work.
What about
You go to
heating?
work.
Very, very quickly, Piotr, if I could. What about heating? What arrangements exist for heating? Very quickly, please, if you would.
Ukraine is trying to protect the energy stations. I cannot explain exactly what kind of systems they are using because we don't know Russians to let them know how is that going on. But as I said before, you just cannot prepare for everything.
No.
If there will be no heating in your house, It doesn't matter how many jackets, how many blankets you will put on you, it will be still very cold.
Yes, I was wondering more about the independent heaters, but unfortunately we're going to have to wrap up our conversation here, Piotr. But stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a good evening, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of this episode of World Talks. Don't go away, though. As always, lots more coming up. Goodbye.